Start button.
Oh, something started.
We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger, and with me as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And back once again, because we can't get rid of him.
I'm lonely. Josh Saintz.
So, and in the intern camp, Jack Hughes. Yeah, it's great every time. We're
Thank
really
you.
stoked that you're here.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm proud of myself, too.
Before we get too far, this is our
Trust you.
Justice League review, so we're really going to dive into it. But first, before we talk about nerd stuff, we go over to Jay.
For the beer?
Yes, for the beer.
Oh, okay. Today it is Kitten Mittens. Couldn't pass up the name.
I didn't even
look at
from
the
Always
name.
Sunny.
I didn't even look at the
Yeah.
names either.
Mittens.
Nice.
But Kitten
Oh.
Mittens Winter Ale from Kulshan Brewing, 7.4%. It's a winter ale. Should be dark, should be heavy, should be sweet. Everything I usually don't go for in a beer. So
But you couldn't pass up the name.
I couldn't pass up the name. So, all right.
It smells super roasty
And very sweet.
and sweet and malty.
And you can get... I'm getting a lot of the almost banana-y smell from the
Yeah, that's
from
the
yeast.
sweetness I smell.
It's going to be yeasty.
There
Smells
you
like
go.
Yeasty boys.
Yes.
All right. Well,
It's pretty dark.
it's very dark. It's darker than most winter ales, actually.
I would agree.
Good night.
I concur. Should we taste it?
Yeah.
I think we should. So, to all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Wow, you guys are...
Thankity.
Clankety clank.
We're on, you're off.
What?
Kind of smells
It's
like
a-
banana bread to me. It's in the,
That's that yeasty.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
Yeast.
It's not as sweet as I was expecting.
It's really not too much of anything.
No, the roast comes through a little bit. It's way more balanced than I expected. It's got a pretty... It's sweet, a little fruity. Goes into the nice mellow roast flavor, and almost, I don't know, caramely, and then just bitter.
Yeah.
But the bitter's not like harsh.
I don't think any of it's really that harsh.
No.
It's really not even like overly thick.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, this is...
I like it.
I do
I'm
too.
pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, got to get yourself some Kitten Mittens.
Especially if
That
you
is
have a
the
cat.
that is like the cutest beer name I've ever heard.
It's
Isn't it?
adorable.
Yeah.
It's from that show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You ever seen that?
Yes.
This beer's on the show?
No.
No, like-
just the Kitten Mittens.
There's this weird guy named Charlie.
How do you know maybe It's Always Sunny got it from the beer?
No, because he made Kitten Mittens. That was the whole theme of that one episode.
It's pretty
Because the
hilarious.
cats were so loud outside of his house, couldn't go to sleep, so he had made mittens for all the strays. It's a messed up show, but it's
It's
really
a very
funny.
messed up show.
Yeah, it gets
And it gets worse
Yeah.
as it goes.
and that's
And
the
the
best part
and the
of
first
it.
episode's bad.
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah.
one with DeVito?
Yes.
Yes.
See, I thought about watching that. You guys think it's worth watching?
Oh my god!
You should
if
at
you
least-
want,
The first season at least.
if
After
you want to
that, I
see
would-
Danny DeVito covered in hand sanitizer crawling around on the floor, then yeah, it's a must watch.
And if anything else, you should at least Google or YouTube Kitten Mittens.
Okay.
At least enjoy
Yeah.
that because that segment is pretty funny. Yeah. So, but we're gonna keep drinking Kitten Mittens,
Of course.
right? Because that's what we do, and it'll probably get better, right?
Oh, I mean, any beer gets better the more you drink it. But
So first off, we're gonna play Bound. Have you guys tried it at all?
I have not.
No,
I tried a little bit of it, but not since we talked about it.
Oh, okay.
That sigh kind of
Yeah.
indicates it's not a Marcus favorite.
Oh no, it's actually when I first started the game, I thought, "Wow, this is pretentious." But as I've been playing it, it's actually kind of fun. So, and we'll see if you guys think the same thing.
It looks really pretentious. Like,
Yeah.
oh, so much art.
Just like watch me, and just like all that, just prancing, literally
Yeah.
prancing around, and just like.
That's
but then,
what it looked like to me.
Yeah, but
So
then
they have
as
a
you
lot of
get
I
into
just
it,
want to walk
dancing,
over
or-
yes,
here.
there's,
Ribbon
there's
dancing.
literally ribbons in it, ribbon dancing in it.
Yes.
Yes, so it's
God.
very pretentious upon your first time playing it, but then it actually does kind of start to turn into that kind of art style game, right? So
Okay.
I haven't played enough to fully judge it, but I so judged it when I first saw it. So as always, thank you to anybody that's subscribed on YouTube. If you have not yet, shrink the screen, hit that subscribe button, mash the hell out of it, because it really means all the world to us, and we all sleep better at night.
Only mash it once, though, because if you hit it again, it unsubscribes.
So only odd number mashings. Also, if you'd like to have some sweet Nerdbuzz swag, you can go to patreon.com/nerdbuzz and donate $35 or more. I'd like to emphasize more, and get yourself a swag bag. And that's right, digital tipping is amazing. But that's the likes and subscribes.
Yes.
This is actual tangible tipping, which we also love. And you get something for it, so it's cool. And also go to nerdbuzzed.com where you can listen and now watch any episode 100% free, as opposed to
Any other percentage of free.
Yes. All right, so
Nailed
before we dive into the meat of the show, because we're going to talk about Justice League, there's also another sweet bonus this weekend that we really care about on the show.
The Deadpool trailer?
Punisher?
Yes, that too. It pertains to our juvenile in the room that is not allowed to drink with us,
Yeah.
but we still love him, kind of, because we have to.
Yep. Come get on
It's his
camera.
birthday this weekend,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
bought you a gift.
What?
Nerdbuzz gift. Check it out.
Happy birthday.
Oh, do you want me to open it now? or-
Yes, open
Yeah.
it now.
Oh, dude.
Should we bring him on camera to open it?
No, I won't.
No,
oh,
he can sit
okay.
there. We
Thanks,
love him, but
dudes.
not that much.
Is it what we were talking about before the show?
Yes, it
Guys.
is.
Yeah. We got it from you ready. What do you think, Jack?
It's too. Yeah, I like it. I
now-
needed
Stop
this.
deleting your games.
Yes, now you don't have to delete your
Oh my
games.
God.
You can
That's
play
really
games.
convenient.
Oh, wait, you got him
Do I
an
just
SSD?
do I just plug
Yeah.
it right in?
Nice.
Plug it in. Your PlayStation will take care of the rest. It's an external hard
Oh
drive.
my god. Because I was going to get Injustice, and I'm going to be like, oh, what games am I going to have to delete? Now.
Well, there you go.
Now I never have to delete any.
You can
Well, don't
reinstall
say
them
that.
now.
It's only 2 terabytes.
Yeah. You will have to delete
Ever.
some stuff. But,
Infinite power. Thank you so much.
well, thanks. You've contributed to the show, whatever small amount you have,
Uh-huh.
and we appreciate it.
A tip of the beanie.
Awesome. Thanks.
Doesn't really tip, but you know.
So now,
Just
I don't
the
want to hear
tip.
any excuses. You better play every Nerd Play game.
Yeah. Well, I've played most of them.
You have a sweet arsenal now for the download monster.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Well,
exempt because
thank
I don't
you.
have a PlayStation, so,
I
right?
think Xbox can do the hard drive too, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty sweet deal. I did that with mine, and I have so much room still.
Yeah, I've done
I
it with
just
mine.
download stuff and don't care anymore.
I still delete stuff that I absolutely don't like.
Yeah. So let's move into Justice League, and I think because kind of like with the Thor movie, we didn't really have a chance to do a pregame show, so
No.
I think we should just kind of say what were we thinking before we went into this movie, based on trailers and everything else.
Bad. Not
I
good.
was really disappointed in this movie because I was expecting to really dislike it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was at. I want to say I had hopes for the Joss Whedon part because I'm just a huge Joss Whedon fan, much like the rest of the frickin' world. And I had read some reviews, spoiler-free reviews, but ones that were saying that it wasn't that great, and they really bashed on the Joss Whedon parts. And I gotta say, I was not that disappointed.
No.
I don't feel cheated. I don't need my $8.50 back.
Right? What, did you get a deal on your ticket? Is that all it
Or
was?
$10.50 or whatever it was.
I was gonna say, I thought it was over $10.
That's what tickets
Give him
used
a
to
wink
be.
and the nod.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I from all the trailers I saw, I really expected.
When you get my age, I'll give you a discount.
super green screen. I expected them to just ruin the heroes and force them all to be together in this one movie, have it be ridiculously rushed. I really felt like they were going to do this movie with all of the same mistakes that they've done with their other movies before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought.
Very Batman BVS, because we don't say the full name. Yeah.
No.
But I'm in the same boat. I didn't really have that impression coming away from the movie at all. I don't hate this movie. I think it's definitely a step up from BVS, maybe multiple step ups from it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys? Let's talk about what did they do right in the movie.
They paced the beginning well. I think the Affleck Batman was actually pretty good. I was very pleased with the Affleck
Dude,
Batman.
that opening scene.
That was one of the best fight scenes in the movie. Was that opening?
That was like how when I read a comic book and I imagine Batman.
Yeah, up on the walls and stuff. And
Dude, he was just there.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
You can see him when the guy opens the door. You can see it in like the reflection of the window, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Batman! He's there!" And he closes it, and then he sees him just like squatting.
And his little
Just
perch
man
things and
spreading
stuff.
up on that wall.
Yeah. I loved that beginning scene. I thought it was so good. It really just set this awesome tone for the movie. And then it even like when it went into the credits, it really had a Zack Snyder feel to all of that. Like almost even like kind of sucker punchish, I thought, with the opening of it all. But like good Zack Snyder. Which was weird because I wasn't expecting that at all. I really liked it. I thought that whole beginning part was so good. And even the part with Wonder Woman, because they roll into that right away.
Yes.
From all the trailers and everything, I thought they'd ruined that scene. But really, that scene, when you're in the theater watching it, I thought it really sold itself much better than when I'm watching it, between it, during a commercial break on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was actually, I gotta say, one of the worst cut previews for a movie I've seen.
Yeah.
Trailers.
Yeah. The trailer was cut horribly.
Well, they didn't spoil a lot of
No,
stuff.
they didn't spoil.
I'm kind of grateful that they didn't, because maybe that's why we all thought this was gonna, be turdish or
Super turd.
turdish.
Yeah.
Super turd.
Yeah.
So it left good stuff to still see. What was that?
That's a good point, because like all of BVS was spoiled with the whole Doomsday thing, and it's like, oh great, now we know what's going to happen. And this one, it's like, oh, this is the movie, okay. But I feel like a lot of the trailer was all the jokes that were still dumb when I saw it were kind of taken out of context. Like when in the movie, I'm like, okay, that's funnier than from what I
Except
saw.
for
in
the
the
Flash.
trailer.
I couldn't stand the Flash.
Hit
It
or
made him
miss. Yep.
so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Super
But sometimes
rookie.
he was funny.
Yeah, but he wasn't even rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, they just made him dumb.
Yeah. Socially inept.
Beyond socially inept.
Yeah.
Which he's not. I mean, you're the big Flash fan here. Was that a good
I
representation
am
of Barry
socially
Allen?
inept, but no.
Yes, we know you are. We didn't
That's
say
where we're
that.
going. You
Yeah,
were
yeah.
He's supposed to be
person
more
in the
like
room.
snarky. I wonder if their intent though was to like build up to that, build up to that
Well,
confidence. 'cause
snarky
he
is one
got-
thing, but that's
Yeah, I mean, I have hope that they'll make the characters more true to their form. Because in the end of the movie, I don't know if we can spoil it now, but at the end of the movie, there were some like parts that I want to talk about that kind of alluded that the characters are becoming more true to their comic book form.
Yeah.
Right, and I think a lot of this movie was made, and then there were minor things that are like, all right, we're gonna change it for the next one, but we have to keep it like we can't change all this stuff right now.
well, it's.
But
Funny,
yeah,
it's funny you say that too, because what was it? Shooting was almost completely done when Whedon came on, right?
Yeah, he just came in for cleanup and reshoots.
Yeah. So I mean, they had to work with what was there already. So who knows how much he actually got to change or how much he had to work with what was there. So that's a very good point.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't really like Zack Snyder as a director, especially in the other ones. I like BVS. That's his fault. You can't blame anyone else.
Well, but even like I was saying in the beginning of this, I thought it felt super Zack Snyder, but it was like these throwbacks to like Watchmen and even like 300 with some of the fight scenes, and like it was this Zack Snyder that I really loved when he came out with his first few movies. Like he was really good. He interpreted those so well.
Yeah, I think he makes really good like scenes, like visually, but dialogue and story, I feel like that's where he kind of falls apart.
he's not the one that's writing the story.
Didn't he do that for BBS? Wasn't he the writer?
He might have been for the writer. I'm not sure, but I know for this one there was like they fired how many different writers?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It was like 3 writers they fired for this, and then brought in a whole other crew, and I think they fired some of them.
That was all
Oh,
after
wow.
BVS because of the catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
they were like,
BVS.
revamp.
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
Fix this now.
All
Exactly.
things considered, it was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, we can all agree upon that.
Yeah, that's
I really expected to come out of this movie
a little stunned.
yeah, like
laughing about
yeah,
it.
well, I think
Yeah.
we're all a little bit in shock just based on how much we didn't hate this movie. That does not mean it's without its flaws. It totally has flaws. But I really expected to come out of the theater, and that's why even when I made my notes here, I was like, let's find what's our favorites, what's our good things, before we just spend an hour tearing this movie apart. I'm going to try to find a shred of something good in this movie so that it's just not a butcher cast, right?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be.
No.
Like, I don't have to sit here and find these little crumbs that were in that movie to suddenly flour it up with, because there were huge, tasty chunks in this movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Completely,
I'm completely blown away. I think shock is a good word. I'm a little bit stunned and in shock after watching this movie.
Yeah.
Do we need to lay down? Get you a blanket?
Yeah. You guys do the cast. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to pound this beer down. So we got a bunch of characters. I was really worried about them slamming all these origins into one movie, including the team itself, right? Is this other origin that they're slamming into the movie? How do you guys feel as far as the way they introduced all these characters to us and also to each other in the movie?
Better than I expected him to do. I still don't think it was the best bringing of a team, though.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think of how Marvel did it, they established every primary character before they came out with an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Some of those
they're
characters got
introducing-
multiple movies.
Yeah, and one of the things too with the Avengers side too is they had the dedicated a-hole Nick Fury.
Yeah.
This is the one that brought them together. Mm-hmm. So there was just one person to pin your hate on, instead of these guys all coming together as one on their own,
right?
Type thing. So
I guess in this, would you say that person's Superman?
No.
You don't
Batman.
think so?
Wouldn't it be
I think
Batman?
Batman's
totally
the one that
Batman.
pulls them all
Yeah,
together?
he's the one that got them all. He's the one that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He was the one that was the
Wouldn't happen if it weren't for him.
yeah.
The ringleader.
He was.
Yeah.
The ringleader.
Uh-huh.
I guess Green Lantern.
Scraping.
Did you not see
Scraping.
they killed the Green
Oh,
Lantern off in the beginning?
I saw it at the opening credit scene, or the opening thing. I like it better than Marvel's. Ooh, that's one thing that they did better than Marvel, because the Marvel one's just a bunch of clips from their movies, and this one it's like that old cartoon with that like kind of weird CG intro. I thought that was awesome. I really like that.
But I really think it's important to stress that I think Marvel is getting really close to a transition, and that new intro is a way to say goodbye to these heroes.
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to get a whole new roster of
if you
actors
look-
and heroes, and that'll be their way to acknowledge them before these new movies.
Because the first one, before that, in the Phase 1, it was the turning of the pages of the comic.
It was that
And then
more
it-
kind of
and then
retro
it-
comic.
And then it went into the Marvel, and then now it's Marvel. What is it? Say it's this Marvel movies or Marvel
Studios?
Marvel
Yeah.
Studios.
Yeah.
At the bottom instead of just Marvel.
Okay.
And it says so it's Marvel Studios now, and it has. If you look at it, it's like you're going through the hall and all the clips of the movies, then it tilts back into Marvel.
yeah.
So it's changed. It's kind of growing on me, but it's still like the old comic book.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think the old
the
one's
DC
better.
one the best.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, that was the first sign, though, that I was like, they are going to transition. Like, this
Yes.
is pretty clear that is happening for them. So out of all the heroes that we got, who did you come away as your favorite?
The new ones. Out of the new
Yeah,
ones,
right, because we're all going to say Batman.
I was gonna say
Right, yeah.
I was like,
So
definitely-
other than Batman, who did we really... Because he had some kick-ass scenes in this
he did. The cyborg guy actually really grew on me.
Yeah.
I did not want to like him at all,
No.
and I like him better than pretty much anybody else other than Batman.
I've been totally in that boat, too. I really felt... Because I'm not a Cyborg fan. To me, he was always, like, such a sidekick kind of hero with the group. He wasn't such a front runner, and he really came across as this like really confident. I'm going to take care of my end of the deal, and then nobody really had to worry about him ever,
Okay.
right? Like he was just there. He just stepped up and did what he needed to do.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah,
like a machine.
really.
You've been holding on to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say for me, it'd probably of the new, I would say Cyborg also.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with all these comics like you guys are, but
Well, I'm not much more familiar than you are, other than we've been doing this and it's forced me to be.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Cyborg. I've seen him in like a lot of animated movies and
Yeah.
definitely the animated shows. I've seen him in some comic books, but I don't own a Cyborg comic, right? But he's never been that. In a way, he's kind of like the Aquaman of the computer world. Right?
Okay.
Like when there's a computer problem, Cyborg's there to take care of it, right? And like
I can talk to computers.
yeah, right. yeah, right. Yeah. I'll hack it. Like, don't worry about it, right?
Is that the same cyborg from Mortal Kombat or completely detached?
It's not. I think they're different.
No.
Okay, well.
Unfortunately, right? We hoping Scorpion.
I was trying to
did.
bring in some.
Yeah.
I've been, I'm a cyborg.
Although,
Nice try,
Injustice is the same deal, and they have a lot of crossover stuff, so.
That's true. So he could exist in that world.
Yeah, it's
No, oh, I know who
Maybe
he's
they're
talking
buddies.
about. It's the guy with the big robot arms that like smashes your head into the ground and. Kicks
No,
it.
that's Jax.
Yeah, Jax.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking
Oh.
of, his name's actually Cyborg, and he's like a full machine.
I'll look him
And
up.
there's like Smoke and all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of mixed with the Sub-Zeros and the Scorpions and all them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Reptile.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, we've played Mortal Kombat. So huge concern for me was
And
the
I broke
CGI.
Diamond.
And what? And Diamond?
I said I broke Diamond.
Oh, yeah. There he is. Is he right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a freaking predator.
yeah, it is kind of.
Not like a Harvey Weinstein kind of predator, but
My God. Is it? Wait, do you mean this guy? Actually?
or a Bill Cosby kind of.
Oh, maybe that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the half face.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
it's
Kano though.
Yeah, that's Kano. Yeah,
But it just says cyborg.
yeah.
It's weird.
They do have very
Because
similar
he
half
died
faces.
and got brought
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
So for me, really watching all the trailers, I was super frightened by the CGI.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, really, really scared the crap out of me. There's definitely some points in this movie where it's really obviously bad, for sure.
And that
Steppenwolf.
really didn't start heavily until after they came together as a team fully.
Yeah. Maybe that's because, like, the budget gets squashed for those multiple scenes. It's like they can only allocate so much to...
Well, each scene only has the same budget, so like when they have it, they're all there.
Yeah,
the
that's
same
what I
budget
mean.
has to cover them all.
Yeah, right? It's like there's too many heroes to cover the budget for that, so...
Got too much toast and not enough peanut butter.
Yeah, that's right. You're gonna spread it thin, guys. I really thought the worst CGI thing about the whole thing was Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
look
was gonna
close-ups of his face. I'm like, oh.
say. Yeah.
It was like a
Push
PlayStation
it back.
2 cutscene.
Yeah.
Right? It was like that bad.
It was.
So was that bad.
I did like the voice acting for him though.
Yeah, who was the voice?
I don't
Do you
know. Look it up.
I was wondering too. Is it the what's his face? The
It sounded very familiar.
from the Taken shows or
Who was
whatever?
the
He almost
voice actor
reminded me
for
of him.
Steppenwolf?
Oh, he's on it. Come on, Siri.
was played by Kieran Hines.
I don't know who that is.
Yep.
I don't know who that is. What's he look
Wow,
like? What else
thanks,
did he
Siri.
do?
So what
That's
Kieran
not
Hines-
Siri. That's Google Assistant.
Thanks, Google Siri.
If you did Siri, it'd be like, let me search the web for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, I kind of felt like, I mean, Steppenwolf had his moments, but it really kind of just seemed like a sort of a garbage villain to just sort of facilitate the team coming together.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of a throwaway villain, right? And
Who would you rather have had? The giant starfish thing?
Yeah,
The original?
Yeah.
That's what got him together originally, this giant like starfish with an eye in it. Like an Astro Boy. You fight that same thing in
His
it.
name Patrick?
Wouldn't Waterboy or Aquaman come in?
no, I don't think I would have preferred that. I like the idea of Darkseid being the enemy. Said, but I kind of wanted them to like hint at him a little bit more, like even like an end cutscene with him, or like
Yeah.
like something like when he went through the portal, or like something to end to him kind of. Let's see his face a little bit, or something like something to really
wanted a Thanos
confirm that he's
moment
there.
for him.
I did want a Thanos moment for him. Like, give me a reason to care about the next movie. Like,
Yeah.
what's our reason to care about the next one?
They
I
really
mean, other than we're going to get to see him again, right? But that's about it.
They
Like,
didn't
what's
say that,
this?
but-
What's the glue that's going to pull him back together again?
I don't know. They didn't leave anything like that for it.
I know. I really wanted that.
They had
First
the-
complaint,
They had the
No,
they had,
there's more,
they had the pretty flower moment. And that was about it.
which was
No.
cheesy as hell.
Yes, it
Probably
was.
the
That's
the
why I brought it
bad
up.
guy, the League of Evil or whatever.
I guess that was
They
kind
had,
of they did allude
The
to
League
that.
of Villains.
Yeah.
League of
So I
Villains.
think this is about the time when we're gonna need to spoil some stuff. We've been beating around the bush. So if you don't like spoilers, get out of here.
I
Watch
think
the
we pretty much
I
established.
would-
Like and subscribe and close the video.
I would
Don't
say,
do any of that stuff.
I would say that you should
But
watch
if you do,
the movie.
like and subscribe. Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, I want to see 20 other movies, this isn't on your priorities. Okay, but at the end of the movie, they established that Lex Luthor broke out. He's not the Joker, which I was a little... They kind of did a teaser like that, but it was like, no. And then there's Deathstroke, and he's like, oh, let's start a League of Our Own. And I'm like, okay.
And you got to admit, though, the guy
No
they
girls
had playing,
allowed.
the guy they had playing Deathstroke was
Oh, yeah.
looked awesome for the part.
Really
he
good
looked
Slade
exactly the
Wilson.
part. Yes.
Like, the one from Arrow, he looked okay, but this is Slade Wilson.
I didn't like the Arrow one. I liked the suit. I liked the way that they cut his fight scenes and stuff, but I didn't.
love his voice. Deathstroke.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
Yeah,
he's
he does.
British.
Yeah.
Oliver Queen.
Actually, he's not British. I think he's
Corky,
Australian or
mate.
something like that.
Oh, he's a
Yeah,
British
something
guy?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Not that British. Close, though.
Dead air.
Yeah.
Nice segue.
Yeah, I'm still a
Contract
little. I'm still a little
collected. Okay.
dumbfounded. I just am from this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which
Flash.
character did you like the least?
I have to say Aquaman. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
So, other than Steppenwolf,
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about of the league.
I think he's so campy. So he's almost like The Rock.
No,
Oh, bro,
he's
that's
not
a little
that
harsh.
good. Or it's not
He's not that good.
Yeah,
Is that what you
The
said?
Rock is better.
Yeah.
Something about him, it's like
Rock's
he didn't
awesome.
know what he wanted to do.
He's solid.
Or,
Yeah.
Oh my god. He didn't know how he wanted to portray Aquaman, whether it's going to be like the lone wolf or the whiny little boy or like, I don't know. I felt like it.
How about when he's got the truth lasso on him?
Okay,
That was hilarious.
That was the
You know-
that was a funny scene because I'm like, why is he going? And I'm like, oh, that explains it because he has the truth lasso. That was funny. I thought that was funny.
I'm gonna call this right here. They totally ripped that off of Guardians 2, where what's that? The ugly chick, the one that Drax.
Oh,
Yeah, where she starts revealing everybody's secrets. That's exactly what I thought there. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that worked in that movie. So they're like, yeah, let's throw something in like that, you know?
Do you think that because I don't think that was the only moment in the movie that kind of it felt off from the rest of the movie, right? It was just
Right.
kind of this. It really transitioned the tone abruptly all of a sudden, and then it like abruptly went back to serious time, and it did that multiple times in the movie.
Yeah.
Do you think those moments are Joss Whedon?
I think so.
I was wondering that
Yeah,
every
I
time
really
those
think they
moments
are.
started. I was like, "There's such a harsh contrast here. Like it just feels like it's kind of these moments are wedged in."
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you think that's what that was?
I think a lot of that is. Superman wasn't around for those, so that wouldn't have so much of the reshoots and stuff with Joss Whedon. So I thought he was doing more of the I'm pouty and in the cornfield thing.
That you thought that
Out in
seemed
the
more
cornfield.
those more CW moments.
Yes.
Yeah. So speaking of Superman, did anybody notice his CGI'd
Yes.
out mustache? Did you notice some scenes?
One scene when he was throwing Affleck into the car,
Yeah.
it looked like it was almost just digitally done, but it didn't. It wasn't clear. I mean, it was better than what the article said it was.
Yeah,
So,
because I was struggling to see it.
I had a question about that. So we're talking about a movie that's going to make millions of dollars, right? Couldn't you shave your mustache for that? Wouldn't it be cheaper?
Because
Well, I know he's doing another movie or something.
He's
with a
under
mustache.
contract to not shave it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was
With-
going to say,
with-
would it be easier to put a fake mustache on than to pay some guy to
Yeah,
CGI
it-
that into a bunch of movies?
It cost them over $25 million to do the reshoots and the editing to get this movie to work.
Yeah.
And when they did that, it took forever to get it done because all these other actors were already involved with they'd already committed to other projects, right? And so he was doing Mission Impossible 6, and in the contract it says he will not shave his mustache till the filming is done. And because he's in the middle of that filming, they had to digitally remove it, and it cost them millions of dollars and over 25 weeks of CGI
Which
work.
makes no sense. There are Snapchat filters that can add mustaches to you. Why can't they just make it skin color and then you touch it up a little bit?
Right? Well, and let's be
Where
fair.
you at, Snapchat?
Let's be fair. Spoiler alert: Superman is in the movie, but he's in it for
spoiled.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he's in the majority of the movie.
That first scene was cool when the Flash was running and he turns and the Flash is like,
that was like okay. That is the
notices,
one
yeah.
part that I love the Flash because he nailed that look of like what the hell is
can
happening
he
right
see me?
now?
yeah.
Perfectly.
He's just kind of like dodging Superman. Like, is this even? How is this happening?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
But yeah, the running and it's just like, huh?
When his eye moves over and just sees him running by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Flash in
WTF.
this was way better than this. Well, sorry, the Speed Force scenes way better because they had more money. Like, if you ever notice in the Flash TV show when he's running in the Speed Force or whatever and it's all slow, the CGI face is always so bad.
Yeah. it
Oh
is
my
bad.
god! And the only time it was bad was with Wonder Woman. When she was falling and he like booped the sword towards her,
Yeah.
like her face at first, I was like, "That's not Wonder Woman."
Yeah.
Oh.
But that was
Yeah.
cool when he did that. I really liked it.
And then he's like, "Oh," and then he like trips and falls. I don't know.
So-
He was hit or miss for me.
Do you think
she's
it's
so beautiful.
weird that the Flash's like Speed Force activating is blue?
I like it.
You like
I
it?
don't know.
Because even in the comics, it's typically like an orange
yellow.
or a
Yeah.
red. Yeah, or yellow.
I don't know. I feel like it
Blue's
fits the
normally
color
bad,
scheme
right?
for the movie.
Yeah.
Like the movies, it does use a lot of blue and neon and whatnot. I feel like the Flash's blue kind of fits that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just wondered that because I kept
Yeah.
seeing it and like it almost gives you that feel of because typically a lot of times the
Now, in the TV series, wasn't
He was always yellow.
I was like,
and red.
wasn't Zoom's lightning blue?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
that's what I
typically
And
the other
Savitar's, I
guys,
think, as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the other speedsters
Oh,
tend to have different shades of when they tap into the Speed
Just
Force.
kidding. Just kidding. I'm not even gonna. Never mind. Oh wait, no,
form.
Savitar. No, I'm not gonna spoil that.
Well, is Savitar.
And I think the Flash also he comes off as super ignorant, right?
Oh,
just oblivious to
completely.
everything. Doesn't know what to do with anything. And he's super young. Like I think the age ranges of all these heroes is just really off from what we're used to as far as like the comic book world.
Yes.
Right? Like Batman's super old. He's on the verge of retiring. He has to be, right? Ben is already
Well, they acknowledge that with the last one being the Dark Knight Batman.
yeah.
So, the Frank Miller Dark Knight Batman.
Yeah, he's got to be what, in his 40s because they said he's been fighting crime in Gotham for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he had to have done that when he like was 20, right? Something like that. So he's in his 40s, which I'm assuming, it's like football. Like that's really old,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
Football, but with
encroaching on
guns.
that.
Yeah. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to make that transition happen. It has to happen at some point. Like, will they? I know they're doing a Nightwing movie. Like, will they bring in some sort of like a Robin, or introduce that in the Nightwing movie? Maybe.
I think Batman's going to be the Oracle of the Justice League. Like he'll be the guy in the background, like kind of what Alfred was in this one. Like it'll be him and Alfred doing all the.
Is that who Alfred is?
stuff.
Is that why he's such a weird age too? He's the first Batman. Is that what's going to happen?
Oh, that'd be weird.
Right?
No, but like I think he's gonna have Oracle's role.
Didn't we already establish that Batman's so smart and so tech savvy he created an AI Alfred already and it's literally his digital assistant?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Alfredo.
Right.
You're not OG Alfred. You're Alfredo.
That's right.
I'd believe it. I mean, like based on the logic that all these movies have, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Well, I wondered with the Flash if they're going with him so naive and so young, because of the success of the CW show. Because that actually was received fairly well, and it's still doing fairly well. It's the Flash that we all know
Yeah.
right now, anyway. Right. But when I think of the Flash, I was thinking of him as older. Like he's not a teenager. You think? What do you think, Jack? You're the Flash
He's like
expert.
20 in the movie.
Like maybe he's younger than Batman and Superman,
Yeah,
but
I
he's
mean,
not a teenager.
I think he's the character that either they want kids to be like, oh, he's funny, or like kind of get, because it's like it's almost his coming of age movie, which I can kind of appreciate because by the end he's a little less awkward.
yeah.
Because in the beginning he's like, I don't want to
He's
do
got
do
friends.
anything. He's like,
He's
I'm
got
not
an
used to
outlet.
all this. What do you say?
He has friends now. He's got an outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's got
part of
some
that.
people-
Maybe the initial scene you see him in where he scribbles all over that guy's face
Yeah.
It
without
was
knowing,
hilarious.
speaks to his immaturity or whatever, and they
Yeah.
they kind of develop him a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, as it goes on.
And
I'd still do
I
that.
would
if
do
was-
that all the time. If
Yeah,
I,
it's the same here.
in the race with Superman at the end, I was like, okay. That felt a little, that felt earned.
That was
and one of my
that race
main
with Superman was
things-
pulled straight out of the comics,
Yeah.
and it was the end of which one was it? I can't remember.
For what?
For the Superman, I mean, it was a Superman and
the race.
and Flash race, but it's like the comic. It's ripped straight out of the comics. It's on the farms where they start,
Yeah.
and in the comic, it's the last page, and it just shows the I can't remember who was setting him off, but somebody was setting him off,
Yeah.
and that was it. So I mean, they took that straight out of the comics.
I wish Superman would have kept his feet on the ground.
I felt that was
that's not
earned
fair.
though, because like I think my main complaint about the trailer was like my man. I'm like, that wasn't earned. I feel like they're gonna start off enemies, and there's just gonna be this sudden shift, and now they're all best buds. I didn't feel that in this movie, and I felt like the race was an earned scene because it was established earlier that like, oh, they kind of had this little competition going of who's faster, and I was like, okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Well,
That was a weird line, though. That's a Denzel Washington line. That is not the Khal Drogo line right there.
No,
right, for sure. Yeah,
my man. I was like, that was forced.
And
Hipster.
whatever. I was like, all right, shut up.
Did you notice that none of that kind of attitude or action started until those scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that stuff all had to be shot and done already a long time ago.
Yeah, and it's like how you can't.
That was
That's
not added
so
in.
much CG that you can't reshoot that.
Exactly.
And I'm really sick of the Batmobile. The Batmobile scenes are so ridiculous.
I did like the
that's
design
something
of this Batmobile, though.
I liked it
tank.
better than.
The tank style.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well, no, this wasn't the tank style. This was the one that he
kinda like
drove
an
in at the
in-between.
end.
Yeah.
When it
The
drives in.
Walker one, that was. I'm like,
I didn't
what?
like
I thought
the
that was
Walker at all.
dumb.
I'll be there in about 5 hours, guys.
So the Walker one started out with the treads though, and the treads one is taken straight out of the Frank Miller
Yeah.
Batman because you remember it had that big old huge neck over thing and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that
It did not
ridiculous
Weird pig
tank
nose
thing.
cannon that it
Yes.
came
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
Not a
but
fan. Not
it
a
was.
fan.
No, I was not a fan of the one in the comic either.
Yeah.
But when they first rolled up with the tank crawling Batmobile, I was like, oh, sweet. So they have the Frank Miller Batmobile,
Yeah.
but or tank or whatever. But yeah, it was not the same.
No.
Speaking of which, when they bring that stupid thing down and they have that underground fight, did Bruce not even consider the fact that they were under the bay? Like, maybe I shouldn't be shooting these freaking missiles, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, right?
Steppenwolf's like, oh yeah, here we go, let's turn your rockets.
Yes, that was very poor planning.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
And he's been doing
Even
it
if
for
he
over
had
20 years, right? You'd think
Yeah.
he'd know better
Yeah,
by now.
exactly.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the experienced one. On the
He
team.
hasn't been using rockets and bullets for 20 years. I mean, this is a new
He's
thing.
very proficient with them,
true.
though, as if he'd been using them for that long. I'm like, I wonder if it ever crossed Batman's mind once, like, I don't kill, but I do kill aliens? Is Batman racist? I don't know.
I don't kill people.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to kill Superman too, right? So
Oh, yeah, that's right.
he's a freaking alien.
No, I was just going to put him to sleep. I put him to sleep with bullets.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like Arkham Knight, though. They just explode into like massive rubber pellets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I run over them, but it shocks them, so they get out of the way until you just run over them. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't think about it.
Dude, and I think the Batman Affleck got shredded for this Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty yoked. Yeah, swole.
Well, I think
swole.
okay. One of the biggest things that came away from the movie thinking it's already. I think Superman is already the worst at disguising himself. Right?
Yeah.
He earned that merit badge.
He
a
puts
long
on a
time
pair of
ago.
glasses.
Yeah, right. It
Stealth
looks the
mode.
exact same. Right? Yeah. Who's that?
In the OG ones, they did it a lot better. Like he had the nerdy part. In this one, he's still like, I'm Clark Kent.
No, they dug up
Flying
his
Lord.
grave. His grave was they buried Clark Kent. They buried his body. They dug up his body, and now he's just going to go back to work and live on the farm and just be strutting around, and everybody's okay with that? Like, why isn't that an issue
Zombie
at all,
Superman.
right? Yeah. He's back, and suddenly Superman's back.
Yeah, did you guys laugh when she says, "You smell good"? And I'm like, "Yeah, like decomposition."
Necrophilia.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's gone stiff.
Yeah. Is that not a no-no?
Oh my god! Enough of that.
I was talking about the body. You guys.
Sure you were. So, I don't know. I think I thought that whole thing was so just crammed in there.
Yeah,
Right?
It was.
Just like I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know how to tie this
Better
in. I don't know
now
how to
than
make this
later.
work. Yeah, let's just solve this problem. Which I
Yeah.
think a credit
Use
to
the
this movie is
mother
something they did well. They solved a lot of issues that like BVS had.
Yes.
I think for me personally, one of the biggest issues that BVS is that it took two of the like most iconic comic books in the DC world and butchered the hell out of them. Like two of my personal favorites, and just threw them in a blender and didn't even care that this part is actually from this other story arc. But we're just going to switch Batman and Superman for the hell of it because we got all these pieces and we need something in the end.
So
this didn't pull from like a real main comic book story. I wonder how much that aided it.
That's probably a lot.
We're not comparing it to these things that we so iconically love, other than just the characters themselves.
Now, you had mentioned the Swole thing, and you're bringing up the whole source material, how much we loved that, and that was a major complaint that we both had when we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
And screw you for giving me those right before seeing it, so it was all fresh, and I just had that fresh, I love this is awesome stories, I can't wait to see it on screen.
Yeah. And you didn't.
No, I didn't
get to see it on screen. Yeah.
But which brings up a meme that just totally stuff it. But it's like it says it shows how DC prepares for the movie, and it shows them all just working out like crazy, and it shows how Marvel prepares for the movie, and they're all reading comics. You know, all the people that are playing the characters are reading the comics and learning the source material.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah.
So,
if I had Superman's ability to see through people and see their organs and stuff, I don't know that I'd go for the organs. I'd just go for the creepy airport inspector guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, just add a layer.
Gal Gadot, you don't have armor on.
I was going to say, add a layer. I mean,
Exactly.
One layer too far.
Yeah, exactly. Let's bring it back.
Can he do that? Can he just like dial it back to what he's Superman, right?
I'm going to say,
whatever the hell he wants.
if you're born with it, you have that ability. Trust me.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know, I don't get why Superman likes Lois Lane. Every scene with her in the movie was so slow and so boring. The one with her, and Clark's mom, I wrote down slow, and then in that same scene, just because it kept going on, I think I said like, I don't care about Lois Lane. I don't care about. Oh, I'm a writer, but I'm not writing anymore. I'm like, shut up, get out of my movie.
Yeah.
So
just let him put the suit
most
on,
important person to you in the entire world just died.
Yeah, but Batman,
You're
Flash,
not going to feel bad?
Aquaman, no, because I know he's gonna come back in like 10 minutes.
You don't know that.
Everybody knows
Look
that.
me in the eye.
You don't know that.
He like
Okay, Lois.
The rocks lifted.
You don't know that.
Don't compare me to her. Oh my god, no! But
I see the resemblance now, though. Now that you say it,
Yeah, definitely.
I think she was the worst part about the movie.
It's the eyes.
even worse than Aquaman.
Yeah.
Would
That
you?
cute
What
little
if?
button nose.
Aquaman wasn't at least that boring. I mean, he
I liked it.
did
Aquaman.
bad
A
CG
little bit.
flying
Oh
around the water.
no! Really? He wasn't. He came across less abrasive than I thought he would.
Yeah, but no, just the whole bar scene and the angsty and the drinking down and the beer's on him and walks out,
Yeah.
throws it down and just
Yeah.
jumps in the water. It's like, that's kind of cool actually.
Yeah,
It's an Arthur Curry I can get behind.
I did think this did scare me though to watch an Aquaman movie because I really don't want to see them just fighting underwater the whole movie.
I don't know.
That was not
bad.
Or Michael Phelps.
It wasn't
villain.
that good. It's like it's slow, but they're still powerful and like
Have you
sending them
ever,
across.
tried
and,
running in water?
No, and I get that. I totally get it, but I also don't do that because it sucks. Just like it sucks to watch somebody else do it. I don't care if they are a superhero. I don't want a movie filled with Aquaman underwater in slow motion, weird. I can't move underwater.
You know what I love about water?
What? Tell me,
You
Josh.
can move so freely. There's no pain on my joints.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I did like as far as Superman goes, I did really like how they made him just seem like the ultimate badass. Like when he showed up,
Yeah.
he saved the day. Like
And
he just
wasn't
there was no
mopey
question.
at all.
Yeah. He was a little bit
Well, he was angry at the beginning, but he never like moped around.
And he was
Like,
kinda cocky.
He felt more like Superman.
yeah.
I like
totally
that.
agree.
Like
Super duper
that
man.
very first scene in the movie with the kids, like, Doug, our podcast. Do you beat up a rhino or a hippo? Like,
That was hilarious.
and like how Superman was like totally talking with them and just being like, a hero, I liked that. And
Yeah, I
like,
thought that was a
he
really good
acted
way to
a lot-
start the movie.
Yes.
A lot more like a hero. Like, that made me like, oh, it is kind of sad that he's gone now. And instead of like, oh, we'll never forget Superman, I'm like, yeah, I want to, though.
I was really impressed with how well those kids held that phone stabilized while they were recording it.
No, they kept moving it closer.
It was incredible.
They were like,
But it
getting
wasn't like jittering around. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's probably like their parents or something.
Did you not
Yeah.
hear it's for their podcast? They obviously had experience.
Oh, right.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Dude, they probably have more subs than us now.
I know.
Well, I think really
Stupid
that
kids,
whole
fortunately.
beginning of the movie had such a good tone for probably, I don't even know how long the movie was.
Thanks for
I wanna
bringing
say
the
like
three
2
you did.
hours,
Yeah.
right?
About 2 hours.
But I think for like the first at least 30 minutes of this movie, maybe 45, I actually thought it was a really good movie.
So did I.
Yeah, maybe
I
not
really
that
didn't
long,
have,
but yeah.
yeah,
I really liked it up until the point where Aquaman joined the team. Once he was officially part of the team,
when he jumped in and stopped the water.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Up until that point, I was just kind of like, eh. Or, I mean, after that point, I was kind of just, eh.
yeah.
But, I mean, up to that point, it was really good. I was really liking what they were doing.
I totally agree. Does it give you guys? Are you less leery about the next DC movie now?
No,
I'm
I
hopeful.
think they'll find a way
Very
to mess
hopeful.
it up. They'll think too well of their 48 Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah,
Be like, you know what? Let's go crazy.
I think it's 30. I think it's 39 now. Oh, also the movie is 1 hour and 59 minutes, which is actually kind of
so it's pretty close to
Surprising.
2 hours. But it never felt, and it. I don't think there was a point really in the movie where I was like, all right, other than when Lois came in, Jack. When I sat there and thought, all right, it needs to pick up now. Like I'm ready for them to do something again. I think it did a really good job of jumping from hero to hero until they came together as a team without just forgetting about the other heroes while in the process, right?
Yeah.
Like they kept bringing them in frequent enough to where they were always reminding you that they were there, but it wasn't done in a way that seemed really harsh or just thrown in there at least too bad.
Yeah. And that's what I say. Back to Jack. The one thing I didn't like about the Lois Lane scenes is when they brought the Martha mom in.
Your mom's name's Martha?
Yeah, exactly. When they brought the Martha mom in.
39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
It's dropping.
But
I'm
it's
surprised. I think that's
Yeah,
harsh.
that
is
harsh,
I don't
but-
think it's that bad at all.
I said the one part about that though is they took the time to bring her in to establish some screen time with her and some stuff, and then when Superman comes back, all you see is get out of the pickup.
Because she's speechless. Well, and then they have their moment of,
Had a
whatever.
warm embrace,
Yeah,
right?
they had their warm
Yeah,
embrace.
I know,
They're,
but I
they're
mean-
on the farm.
It's just like
It was
okay.
very Joss Whedon.
But I'm just saying, like to start establishing her and establish something that all right, she's going to be a key part of this, going to be part of it, then just to totally just kind of brush her off.
Yeah, you think so?
She's
Until
an
the very end,
adopted
I guess.
mom,
They did come
right?
back to
Well,
that.
that is true. They did come back, but yeah,
Yeah. Well, and really, the whole movie takes place over the course of a day,
yeah.
right? 2 days, maybe at the most. Isn't that what Wonder Woman tells Batman? That we have like a couple days.
Something like that. Yeah,
I did think for the most part Wonder Woman was pretty badass in this movie too.
totally.
I really liked her comment to Cyborg that like, if I wanted to take you out, I would have done it at the lake. It's
Yeah.
like, I already knew you were there. You weren't
Yeah.
sneaky at all. Like
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool when she said that.
I thought her first scene, like I'm like in my mind I'm like this is dumb, but I'm like it's also cool. She's running really fast, deflecting all those bullets.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's pretty dope.
I mean, that's totally true for what she is.
Yeah.
I mean, she can actually go toe to toe with Superman. So
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
can fly. Why doesn't she fly
We
in the
can't
movie?
have more than 2 flying superheroes.
Can't have more superheroes. We don't have the budget for more than 2 superheroes flying in a
limit.
scene. That's it. Only 2. That's why Aquaman's always falling.
Then don't make Cyborg
With that.
fly.
Yeah.
Cyborg doesn't need to. Maybe he does. I don't know.
I did like the way he was like, because you did get, he was probably the most rookie out of them all. Like at least the Flash had his suit. He had been the Flash for a while. He runs around and pushes people, like he says, right, and saves people that way.
Yeah, yeah.
But Cyborg is like still coming to grips with just being a cyborg guy. He's still just his body's still learning and adapting, which I thought
Which
was
is
kind of cool.
Pretty. Yeah. So it's like it kind of makes sense. Oh, if in the next movie Cyborg can like do some other stuff, it's like because his technology's evolving. You see that at the end when
Yeah.
he gets his kind of classic look.
I was a
the
big
big
fan
C,
of that.
yeah.
More plate stuff instead
Yes.
of weird angular
Yeah.
flight
Much
of the navigator
easier to
suit.
animate. I think that was one of the Joss Whedon scenes. It had to have been just adding that in,
Where he
showing
added that little retro,
yeah,
little nod to that.
so that
We know
next
what you want.
movie, it's gonna be just a little better.
Yeah.
They're
Smoother,
pushing.
cleaner.
They're taking
Yeah.
steps. Good, keep going,
So-
DC.
Do you think?
Proud of
Keep
you.
Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joss Whedon stick around. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pay him what he wants. Just pay the guy whatever he wants. Just pay him. Do you think they can?
And don't just take the money. Do something with it, please.
Yeah.
Or for it.
Like, well, in the one scene where the flashback where they're fighting the weird bug people, right? Clearly, we're gonna get Green Lantern,
Yep.
and the other electric dude has got to be. It's
Black
got to be
Adam.
magic, and yeah, Black Adam or Shazam.
Yeah.
It's alluding to that,
Yeah.
to the magical side of it, right? So those guys are gonna come in for sure. We've already been acknowledged with all that stuff.
Who's that arrow chick with like the one flaming arm?
I don't
She was
know.
one of the Amazonians.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
I thought everybody else was Amazonians.
Well,
Yeah.
because they said the gods, and I'm like, the god, like.
That's who I assumed was like the
Yeah.
Shazam or Black Adam or
Well,
somebody
no,
like
okay,
that.
that was definitely because they had the lightning bolt on their chest and the red suit and the cape. I'm like, that was definitely the Shazam vibe I was getting.
Yeah,
I just named two heroes, Shazam vibe, boom,
Okay.
double
boom.
down.
Yep, got him.
I'm excited to see how all those characters come in. I think, like Josh was saying, with Marvel has really done a good job of developing those characters independently before they brought them together. Mm-hmm. DC's really going about this the other way, which I think they're in a hurry. That's like them kind of rushing, but at the same time, it's kind of cool that they're not just blatantly copying what Marvel did. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of a different approach, which I
Kind
can
of like
also.
a spaghetti approach. Throw it out the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah, right.
See what people really like into. And maybe those guys are like, well, we think we can squeeze a movie out of this character. You know, that's what.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
Really, like I think who knows? See what the fans bite on,
Right.
right? What they're going to approve for. I'm really worried about how they're going to transition Batman. I don't think Ben is sticking around much longer. At first, at this year's Comic-Con, he had really good things to say about being Batman and that he was really lucky, felt really lucky to be able to play the role, and he wanted to like stick around as long as they'll have him and all this and that. And the movie came out, and because people are just ragging on the movie, he's immediately saying now he wants out again. It's like, I don't know if he just can't handle criticism or like what's really going on with him, but he's so old anyway, and they've acknowledged it in this movie. Like, I wondered how much of that stuff was reshoots. Like, just to kind of like, he's going to
wonder.
leave. We have to like kind of lead into that a little bit in this movie to acknowledge this is going to happen down the road.
Yeah.
It'll make that transition.
And do we even
less
know if
harsh.
he is the Batman movie Batman yet?
I don't. Nothing's been confirmed.
Damn it. That sucks.
Isn't he directing it or co-directing it?
He was gonna.
He was going to
He
be.
wrote it. He was gonna write it, star it, and direct it, and it's all dwindled down to maybe none of it now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
At least if he did that, then he
weird.
couldn't blame directors and stuff for if the movie.
I actually think I would love to see him
I
have
would-
the
I would
chance
too.
to do that. Like,
Yeah.
let's see what that Batman movie would be.
Yeah.
It would be really cool. The moments in this movie when he is Batman are some of the best moments in the movie, for sure. They actually do that with all the heroes. When they have their classic, that is them as the hero moments, they're done really well.
Okay. And now, one thing about his Bruce Wayne, why would you have the voice when you're Bruce Wayne?
I don't
did?
think it's different in the suit. The suit is like totally
The
computerized.
the suit's digitized,
Yeah.
but he's still doing, I'm the Batman. I'm Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, but it's less.
It's
I
less,
I
but
noticed
it's
that
less
too.
still-
in the trailer, especially the scene with the bat signal. In the trailer, I was like, why is he doing Batman voice? And in the movie, he didn't.
Yeah, I thought it was less in the
weird.
movie too.
Yeah.
Because I actually tried to look for that too.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, as he was, like, the scenes where he was in the jet talking to Alfred.
Yeah.
Alfredo.
Yes.
That's the noodle they throw at the wall.
He's, so when he's talking to Spaghetti, he's
Yeah.
he's it wasn't just that I'm the character, you know, because I mean every person before has always just kind of given it the voice of that is their natural voice, like you and I talking to each other now,
Yeah.
you know, for their Bruce Wayne, and I think he did that in the one that will not be named.
Yeah.
But this one, I mean, he was doing the voice. Everything was deeper and forced.
Maybe we started smoking Camels.
But I also think you have to remember this
Well,
is
if you
the
saw
dark...
some of his interviews and stuff afterwards, you'd believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think this is also the
Lots
Dark
of scotch.
Knight Batman.
Lots of scotch.
I love Scotch. Scotch.
So he's older, right?
Yes, he is.
So I think you're getting a little bit of that age in his voice also. You think?
Maybe,
It didn't
yeah.
really bother me, I don't think, when I watched it. I didn't really notice it as much.
I did.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't,
stood
I
out.
don't really notice.
Yeah.
Bite me.
I didn't really notice it.
I think you have a Batman complex, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Good.
I think if I go down my list of complaints with this movie, one definitely is some CGI stuff. They're blatant.
Cyborg mostly.
Yeah, well,
But
just even
CGI
his suit. Like, I noticed he's in the sweatsuit, right, with the hoodie and stuff. So they only have to put a little red light under the sweatsuit and then do half his face. That's all the CGI required for that scene. They're saving millions on those scenes, right? Put him in a tracksuit. But the scenes when he would come out looked super CGI'd. When the heroes would all interact together, there were some real bad CGI moments, especially in the end fighting scene where it was blatant. Every single scene in that backdrop was CGI.
Yeah.
They were never actually on location anywhere. Like when they're all fighting Superman when he comes back, even though there's all those heroes in that scene, it looked like there was some actual location work maybe going on. Did you think?
It looked like it was in the park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
all on. It wasn't as blatant as the end of it was, and there was a lot of CGI stuff going on. They were all fighting at once. That sweet moment when he turns and sees the Flash, that's all intense CGI stuff going. But that scene looked, I thought, really well done compared to those end scenes. The end scenes are not nearly as good.
And that's the problem that all the DC movies have had so far.
Is that
Is
final
with the-
climactic?
It's just with the CGI in any major heavy action.
Yeah,
movie.
even Wonder Woman. I think that when the airport's getting destroyed and
Oh yeah, dude. The Hades or whatever his name
Yeah.
is.
even he wasn't as bad though.
No.
Steppenwolf I thought was done really poorly. It seemed
I agree.
really, really
And
rushed.
every time he swung his axe, there was that little.
I kept expecting Kratos to come in and save the day.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
I would've been very okay with that.
But it reminded me of that, like a PlayStation game or something, right?
Yeah.
It really had that quality to it. But I think so. There's definitely that in it that I think was an issue. There was clearly some CGI stuff. I think that as they tried to roll some humor into the movie, make it a little more lighthearted, which I applaud them for doing because I think it needed it. It also came across as a little harsh. It's kind of like that ending CGI at points. The heroes, I think, Aquaman could have been a little more polished. The Flash, I think, could have been a little better. I was really okay with Cyborg and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They're pretty true to what the characters they've created, but I really have to give them credit as far as when they were all together. I think they all really interacted with each other pretty well.
They did.
Yeah.
The flying through the air part though with the
My man.
Yeah,
That was
bad.
I
was
knew
definitely
when
bad.
the scene was coming up. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm like, oh, it's about to happen.
Yeah.
exactly. We all did that.
Yeah.
But it ended, and that was.
Yeah, they didn't keep it going.
And then it kept it got.
He
better
tumbled through the
after
building, came out, and it was actually pretty decent.
That. Yeah.
But,
Totally rode the guy like a surfboard. My man, right? He totally did. I thought that. But that was all such blatant green screen and not that great. That moment, there were some moments in the movie when I was like, does it have to be 2 hours? Couldn't they just cut 15 minutes out of this movie and taken out some of these garbage scenes and maybe?
It was really slow, which is weird
That's what I
because you
thought.
feel like it'd be
I didn't think
way
it was
more
that
rushed.
slow.
Yeah, I thought
There
the
were-
pacing was actually
The
okay.
Amazon scene that was I feel like that was way too long.
I don't know.
They just kept going. It's like, why didn't Steppenwolf just come in and get the mother box and boost out?
Like you did with the last one, right? It's like, oh crap, we totally forgot
Yeah.
about the box that we left on the other side of the city.
Wah, wah.
He went and got it.
Dude, Superman did just come back to life.
Okay, yes, that's true.
Okay? And he was not happy.
That's true.
Okay?
Reminded me more of a Flashpoint Superman, the weird, all withered one. Doesn't
Yeah.
really know what he's doing. Yeah.
Which is
No
our
mullet. Whatever.
next Flash movie. Is Flashpoint. That's the solo
Wait,
is
his
Flashpoint.
first movie is
His
Flashpoint?
first movie is
Oh my
Flashpoint.
god.
I
Maybe they'll
kind
fix
of actually
everything.
hoped by the
How do we know it's the first one?
right. Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah.
Wait,
I'd
what'd you
actually
do?
kind of hoped.
Huh?
What'd you do? I missed it.
I said, how'd you miss the?
I-
how do you know it was the first
Oh
one?
my God.
Yeah.
I really kind of hoped at the end of this movie, almost that Flash would have had to do something to like save the day so much that he would have like speed forced it into a different time. And like that movie would have like left it without him there, so then Flashpoint would have made sense, right? Like here's your segue into that movie.
Yeah, that would have been smart.
Or like he accidentally did, and then he was able to come back.
What do you think he does
Even
when he
just
races
like he
Superman?
can't come back yet because he doesn't know what he did because he's still super rookie. I thought that would have been a great way to tie in him not being good at being a hero yet, right? And still learning how to handle using his abilities and whatever, but then also screw himself over and have to figure out how to get back, which is the whole point of Flashpoint.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of a cool way to tie that in.
I don't know. I just hope that with Flashpoint, maybe they'll have the chance to just like gloss over BVS and be like, oh no, this is what happened in the plot.
Yeah,
Better thing.
yeah.
I don't know.
I hope that's the only
I'm more
movie they try to
hopeful
put in
for
there.
it, though. I'm really a lot more hopeful for the next DC movies.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, they're going to be great, but they'll be more than serviceable, I think.
Yes.
I hope. I just hope they get on a better...
My biggest
Isn't
concern...
the next one coming out, the Aquaman?
Yeah, I think there's Aquaman and Wonder Woman. That's pretty soon, too.
And I'm wondering about that with the Aquaman coming out. So he obviously didn't have a grasp on what his character was yet.
No.
I
think he's the one that got
Yeah.
the least opportunity to figure it out anyway.
True,
right?
He was kind of like the...
He was like
The
he was
Thor
like the
character.
Kool-Aid man.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah.
show up and bust through a wall and go, "Oh yeah!" right, and then save
man!
right, yeah, totally, and then he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Like
Pretty
he wasn't really in it to long enough to develop his character. I don't think, other than like the lasso scene, like that was the longest where we actually got to see some real Aquaman moment and like what he was really standing for. I know it's because of the lasso, but still, it was like you actually got to hear a little bit
Well,
of
it's
his
just the
character.
truth.
Yeah,
Well, I think
right.
I think the movie, you don't get a sense for what an Aquaman movie is going to be because there was only that brief scene where he's battling Steppenwolf in the water, you know.
Yeah.
So what?
And I
So what is a whole
and, like,
water
which
movie?
was
gonna-
hard
which
to
is why you're worried about it.
No,
And I'm worried
I think
about
that
it too.
gal that had the whole just and then just like totally created the bubble,
Yeah,
the cavitation in the water.
yeah.
That
Like,
looked
totally.
Nice
all
word.
right.
I have a different way of making bubbles in the water.
Oh my god.
So with her wrist farts.
Yeah, right.
No, but
That's what they should have done when she, instead of going clank, they should have went.
Are you guys aware of what cavitation is?
Yeah, the mantis shrimp can do that.
Yes, it's exactly what the mantis shrimp does.
Yeah.
It's also how you blow the bottom off of a beer bottle when you're at a party, a party trick. Anyway, it's a massive amount of force when it recollides because cavitation is pure vacuum.
Yeah.
So it's a vacuum bubble within the water. And anyway, so I think you're going to see a lot of her, or at least those kind of abilities, in the Aquaman movie.
But they're all but the only way you can do that is to be underwater. That scares me more.
What? Well, what if, since they spread the peanut butter so thin, that if they had a movie dedicated to it, they can make it look a lot better, right?
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know though.
Maybe.
I think we're on the skeptic side, and you guys. Are
I am definitely on the
hopeful
skeptic side. I think
Yeah.
when I saw Aquaman just him fighting in the water against Steppenwolf, I really thought, I don't want any more of this.
I don't know.
This is like a Hulk scene in a movie, but not scaling buildings and just causing craters.
I appreciated the whole dirty fish tank look, though.
You did?
I did.
I don't know.
It was too dark. It was too dark.
Well,
wanted it
and
to be a
I even
little
thought the
brighter.
sound. I appreciated that the sound was muted because they're underwater, right? And it had like as they moved their arm, and it would like the thuds were
If
more.
you've ever been around, if you've ever dove and you have that sound, and the sound is directionless.
Yeah.
There's no way to orient where the sound comes. It all sounds like it's coming from like right in the middle of your skull, base of your skull. They did a good job of making that the kind of deal until they were in that the bubble,
Yeah.
which is cavitation. Anyway,
And I actually also thought when he went to leave and he like just kind of stuck his arm out of the bubble and then was like standing there, was like, yeah, no, we get that you're doing some sort of CGI and you paid for it. You don't need to keep you don't need to keep rubbing it in my face, like almost literally, right? Like I didn't like that scene. I'm worried about Aquaman movie. I really am. I think I hope it's not a step backwards and it's like a Hulk movie. That's gonna be my biggest fear. I think he's gonna be great.
I don't know. I think the last Hulk movie was great.
Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I want him to be in there, and I want him to be there with the other heroes. I just don't know if he warrants his own movie. I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
I hope they prove me wrong which is completely what they did with this movie. I really have to encourage people, don't be afraid of Justice League, and go into it. Maybe go into it expecting as much garbage as we did, because maybe that made it a little better.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah,
but
I think in a few months our scores might lower point. Oh, speaking of scores, we might need to.
it's time to dive in, huh?
Yeah,
Let's do it Aquaman style.
we're
Right?
like in hour 5, and I think
Yeah.
we got basically everything.
So let's all slap a score on it.
I'm going to say 6.
Do we want reference
what I was going.
as far as any other DC movies or anything?
Sure.
I did make
let's
note.
go ahead and do that.
Batman. Sorry, I almost did it.
God.
BVS. I gave it a 4.5, and Jeremiah gave it a 4.
Yep.
Right. I don't think those are terrible scores, especially considering that they
How
were
terrible
personal
they were.
stories that we personally loved in comics. Right. Suicide Squad. I gave it a 6. Jeremiah gave it a 5, and we had Aaron on the show. Aaron really loved it. He gave it a 4. And then Wonder Woman, our most recent one, I gave it a 7. Jeremiah gave it a 7.5. Kristen gave it a 7.5, and Emily gave it an 8.
Wow.
So that's our highest reviewed one so far. There's our comparison. What do you think, Josh? As our guest,
I was saying 6. I was already thinking 6, and then Jay said the same thing, so it just confirmed it for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was better than okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I wouldn't call it good. There are good aspects of it for me.
As a whole, it's
Yeah.
just okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm gonna say it's better than okay.
Yeah.
I think considering Batman vs Superman, that's not bad.
I would have rated
That's
it
kind of in
lower
the
than you
ballpark.
guys. You know,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I forgot your scores on that. I would have been a 3 on that.
Super turd.
Yeah. Well, not a 1. That's harsh.
Yeah, it had
That's like-
it had
that's
a
like The
couple
Room.
cool moments,
Yeah.
but yeah. What do you think, Jack?
I mean, the bat suit.
A 5.
gonna give it a
Almost
5?
little low, like almost a 4.9, but I think it's a 5. It's not because I don't want to.
Oh, you're harsh.
Yeah,
I thought I was the one
it's
that was
because I
harsh on
love it. I'm mean because I love you, right? Or is that the saying?
Apparently,
Or whatever
not.
it is.
Point is, it's like I liked it more than I liked Batman vs Superman.
If you
I
love
think.
me, you can fire.
Oh no! Edit that out. Sorry about that. BVS. I liked it more than BVS, but I still think it has a lot to improve, even though it did take some really positive steps forward. And I just know that in a little, like if I watch it again, I'll be able to pinpoint way more flaws, and that CGI is, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's some of
It's a
those
big
things are
step in the
pretty
right
awesome.
direction.
Yeah.
I think it really is. I don't know that it was as strong of a step as Wonder Woman was, because I still think of that as the kind of the new DC gold standard.
Yeah.
And even that movie, I have really big issues with on some certain parts. I think I'm going to give it. I think we're all pretty spot on. I'm going to give it a 6 also. I think it's also better than okay. I was really going into it thinking it was going to be
6.
a turd. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's a sign.
Well, don't forget, it was out of order. So
Next-
it's 6,
next
6,
villain is
5
gonna be
point whatever.
Satan.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah. So I really do encourage people to go see it. I don't think you should be leery of going to see it at all.
Don't be Dennis Leary.
Yeah, right. Don't be that. I think it's
Here
the
all
second.
night
It's the
on the
second
couch.
best DC movie as far as this DC universe goes.
Yes.
I'd agree.
Yeah,
Way better than.
which isn't saying a lot, but it's saying something. It is. It's saying they're taking a step in the right direction.
Yes.
Which they totally are.
That was like a foul ball, not a strike.
Right? Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You can
still-
keep fouling and still stay in the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. So go see it. Go see it. Go see it. We're going. I think especially go see it because I think that they shouldn't be discouraged and motivated to keep going down this path of making better movies.
No.
Yeah, like fuel them a little bit. They
Exactly.
deserve it. They should keep making better movies. So also we're going to keep watching our anime, which is My Hero Academia. I really recommend people watch it in Japanese.
Yes, I've been watching. I decided. Okay, I watched it twice now in Japanese. I'm gonna go back and watch it this time in English.
It's so bad.
It's pretty bad.
I watched
There's-
it in English and thought it was so bad to the point where I watched the exact same episode and flip-flopped back and forth to the same scene. The dialogue's different. It's not the
yeah.
same dialogue. It's the same conversation, but the words they use in the subtitling is different than the English actual dialogue.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
Yes,
that's
it's not.
good.
It's way campier in the English one. It's way more.
Yeah, it's
just
bad.
like to the point. Like
I was
just
just gonna
translate this harsh and short, and that it comes across so much better.
Yeah. It was awful.
I really thought so too. I was like,
I'm
I
like-
like this.
I'm like 10 episodes in English and going, I don't like this at
I
all.
didn't like it at all either. I was like, here I have been raving about this for a year. I was like, and so I went back to Japanese. I was like, oh, okay, this is better now. This is what I thought. It's so much better. The other thing that I want to make a note of is watch The Punisher, because I think we should talk about
haven't
it
seen
next
that
week.
yet.
No,
I'm already halfway
4
through
or
The
5
Punisher.
episodes
I haven't
in,
had a
yeah.
chance.
It has
so-
like a pretty low, I think 60 on Rotten Tomatoes, and from what I've seen,
Punisher?
deserves much better. Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes
I think
tends
it's,
to
I
run-
think that's all the gun hate going on right now.
Oh, probably.
There's articles out there, wrong TV show, wrong time, all this stuff. I see it in my Google feed. And,
Which I think is something
like
the
the
Punisher's
show.
always had to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what time it is. He's just that guy.
It's
right?
like that. It's like Doom or like GTA. GTA
Yeah.
is always going to get some dumb flack from people.
Yeah,
But it's good.
I'm on episode. I just finished episode 7 this morning. I actually stayed up till like 3:30 in the morning last night watching
God.
it. But I just got hooked. I started watching. I think it's very formulaic, which is probably my biggest complaint about it.
So that's what the last 3 Marvel.
Yeah, it's
Netflix
better
has
than
been.
Defenders, I think, and it
Okay.
is better than Iron Fist for sure.
no,
right?
God.
It does not
Yeah.
take
It's not
much
saying
better
Iron
than Iron
Fist.
Fist.
Iron Fist is the BVS
Yeah.
of the Marvel of the Netflix shows.
Yes,
Iron
which
Fist
sucks because I actually went back and read. I mean, how bad that was forced me to go read
Yeah.
source material.
Like,
is he
Yeah.
really that bad?
if Iron
And-
Fist was in the room, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We'd all have his business card that says "I'm the immortal Iron Fist."
I'm the immortal Iron Fist.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, in the comics, he is very stoic. Yes, he does have some cheesy crap he says at times, and I think that's what they were focusing on was the cheesy crap he says
Yeah.
for the whole show, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
No, he's bad.
The Night of Flowers is bad. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I would say the Punisher, I could see a reason why people would give it a hard time as far as the gun stuff goes, because it deals with a lot of like PTSD stuff
Yeah.
and a lot of military stuff. And I could see people like that's not something that you can do in a show without doing it really, really tastefully.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a really sensitive issue for a lot of people, and I think it just has to be done the right way. And there are some moments in it where I think the acting is spot on. There's
Yeah.
a main character in it that is really struggling with those issues, and it's really pretty intense in the show. But I do think the show does it some justice and does it fairly well. And I really like Micro's relationship. So I'm only halfway. I'm going to keep watching it. We'll dive
Well,
into
I
it next
haven't-
week.
Hey, don't spoil it for him.
Yes, I
Yeah,
haven't,
yeah,
I
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
any
any
of
of
it
it,
yet, but I do want to say that I was very hesitant of this character, or this actor anyway, playing him when it was Daredevil.
Because he's like 5'2".
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's one of those
But
scary
he's-
little guys.
Is he really
he
short?
looks big in the show. Like
Yeah,
he
he does.
has presence.
He has, but
Yeah.
he's jacked himself up for this
Oh
his
yeah.
own solo show.
Oh yeah.
but he's but I'm saying though, in Daredevil though, I mean he owned the role.
Yeah.
He owned the character, and he made me believe he was the Punisher.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally was. That was who it should be. And like I said, I hated the Thomas Jane story overall, but I like Thomas Jane as Punisher.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I did not like Dolph Lundgren as Punisher. That was
I,
bad.
I think there's-
That was number 2, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
One of my
yes, it
biggest-
was.
Yeah.
One of my biggest concerns was him. Again, it was like the Daredevil season 2, where it was the trial part, like him
yeah.
not being the Punisher and like humanizing him. But the show again does it really well, so I'm pleased by it. They do. It's not as bad as whatever.
So what
people
we're
are
saying is, whoever's writing for Daredevil and whoever's doing the cinematography for Daredevil, just take over the rest of the Marvel Netflix stuff, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or I guess it's not Marvel Netflix. This is the last Netflix Marvel show we're gonna get.
That's what I heard too. I heard there's
Yeah.
big issues with Disney starting their own.
Yeah, Disney starting their own
streaming
one.
service.
And it's
No,
to
no,
buy
I
another
heard that
subscription.
Netflix is still going to be able to
I
do their
heard
own.
otherwise.
That's what I heard
I think it's
originally.
up
I'll
in
look it up,
there.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
yeah, they're all going to Disney.
Yep. So, but watch it because it is entertaining. It's brutal,
Yes.
but it's entertaining.
Well, it's brutal. That's what the Punisher is
Yeah,
supposed to
totally.
be.
It's what you should expect, right? And the other news before we review our beer is that our next episode is episode 100.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding. And it might
Because this
be
is a bonus
live.
episode.
Yeah,
This is like
review
episode
episode.
111 or something like that.
But we're not ready for it. Now we're ready for it. So we're going to do episode 100, I think, next week.
Sweet.
So it'll be live. You can talk with the show. Even though Josh won't be here, he could still be here.
How do you know I'm not going to be here?
I don't know. If I pry him off the couch again.
If you show up,
I'll just we'll see when the live stream starts. I'll get on my bike.
Yeah. Make it before the end.
Marcus, I'm home.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we go on forever, and this turns into episode 100, let's review our beer.
all right. Well, I do got to say, it was really good. It starts to taste like it should be more than a 7% beer after a little bit. Once it warms up a little bit.
Because you mean like it's too sweet?
It starts to sweeten up a little bit. It starts to get that kind of, I don't know, the under attenuated flavor. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah. It's like that residual sweetness flavor.
Yeah, it's like partially fermented, but not. I don't know how to put it. It's one of the flavors that I love in sauerkraut, but doesn't not in beer.
Yeah.
Both are fermented, by the way. But no, as I said, it just tastes like it should be a little bit more than what it is. It tastes like it could be more than what it is. Drink this one cold. The winter ale also obviously should drink cold.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be cold out.
We're warming up past its ideal range.
We are.
If only
We
you
are.
had mittens to put on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop the heat transfer. Have to drink this in another wine glass.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. It does maintain the roastiness. The roastiness carries through really well. Sweetness picks up a little too much and gets kind of mealy, crowdy. I
Is
don't
the
know.
sweetness the Aquaman of the beer?
It is. The alcohol also picks up a little bit. You get a little bit of alcohol bite, which I'm pretty sure you're overly sensitive to.
Yeah, I
anymore.
did notice it. Yeah, this is coming.
But still, it has the carameliness, has the roastiness. It tastes like a winter ale. Once it warms up, it tastes like every other winter ale that's out there to me.
Yeah,
It really does. Just maybe a little more roasty. That's about it.
and I think a little more alcohol-y.
No, they're for me anyway. Most of the winter ales are pretty alcoholic to me.
Yeah, as they warm up.
Yeah.
Well, and this is a little bit on the higher number side as far as a winter beer. Would you say?
Well,
Was
winter
that
beers are
right?
right around
7%,
7.5,
you
8. Yeah.
Yeah, 7.4 is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of your winter ones are right at 8 and stuff. So
Oh, okay. That's more than I thought. I was thinking like, like your Juba ales and your winter hooks. I think those are like 6 something.
are they?
I think so.
Okay.
Which is still not bad. I mean,
No.
I'll still drink a few of them and it'll do the job.
Anything over 4.5 is
Yeah.
pretty decent.
I think I would put a, I'm going to give this a 7. I think it is good.
okay. I
It's
would
a
give
little better than Justice League.
Yeah,
I would,
exactly.
I'd rather drink another one of these than go see Justice League right away.
Yeah.
But I would see Justice League again.
Well, I say I'd probably give this when we first started drinking it. Like if I cracked this cold, drank it right away cold, I would have given this an 8 right away.
Yeah.
As it sits right now, I'm probably at 6.5.
Okay.
So
I win.
I was gonna say overall, I'm gonna give it an even 7.
Okay. I tied.
Yep.
What do you think, Josh?
Well, we can't all agree on both the movie rating and the beer rating, so I'll
Yeah, we can if
go
you.
6.5.
6.5?
Yep.
So you like it less than we did.
A little bit less.
But a little bit more than Justice League.
0.5.
Can we agree the beer's better than Aquaman and Justice League?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
We can agree on that.
Oh yeah.
My man.
Yeah.
My man.
So, on that note,
You want to lead us off this time?
Yeah, to all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Talking about beer. Talking about nerd culture. Can you
hear that?
No, I know it's playing.
Marcus and Jeremiah.
Marcus and Jeremiah. Yeah.
You're on Nerdbuzzed.
He's got the headphones on again because he's screaming.
Oh. Good episode, gentlemen.
Very good episode.
That was fun.